Okay.
So it's lesson 3, page number 30. Okay. And of course, you know, it's Tuesday. We will do with population dynamics. Now, who answered me just now that what is population? A group of same kind of species in same area. You need to in same area. Okay. That is the
Yeah.
meaning of population. Example, if I say you population of cats or population of zebra, specific animal, okay, I cannot mix with the other ones. What determines a population size? By the end of the lesson here, you will know about the population size. Maybe you will compare how was the population in 2000, how is the population now, and what do you expect in 2050 about population of anyone, humans in Saudi Arabia, humans in China, or species or plants, population of anything. Now, by looking like a snake, can you see here the snake? By looking like a snake, this caterpillar may scare off predators. It's actually a caterpillar, but it shows itself as it is a snake. Okay, it scares the predators to defense. You know, sometimes you see a cat, it roars like a tiger. Anytime you think that a cat looked like a tiger? Yeah. So if there are few real snakes, predators won't be fooled for long. Anyways, here, let me ask you some questions. Plant compete for resources. Do even plant have competition for
No.
food?
Oh.
Yes or no? Do they have competition for food, plants?
No.
No. Why? Because they make their
Um.
own food. You think that. But girls, don't you think so? They compete for the land. They compete for the land. Like example, if one plant do not get enough space, will it be able to produce? It competes with the other. That's the reason here we are writing true for that. First one is true. Second and third, they are false. Population of organism never stop growing. False. They stop growing once one species is killed. Maybe there was a disaster. There was some fire in a forest. All of the species when they die. Don't you think so population will stop grow? Stop.
No.
Yes. Population of that particular species will stop to grow. So that's the reason it's false. Next, animals never help other animals survive. Is it true or false?
No.
False. They help each other to survive. One is food for the another one. That is the first help. They're helping each other. Living
Yeah.
things need the non-living parts of an environment to survive. Girls, do I need the abiotic factor to live? Do I need non-living thing around me to live my life? Yes, Zishan,
What?
you are a living thing. Do you need a non-living thing to be alive?
Yes.
Yes, I need water, I need it. So that's true. Now, question number 2. When a chameleon, do you remember we watched a video of chameleon?
Yeah, they change color and they.
When a chameleon eats a butterfly, what happens to the number of butterflies in the population? Girls, when the chameleons are eating butterflies, what about the population of butterfly? Will it increase or decrease?
Dec-
Of course,
decrease.
decrease. How could a sudden decrease in butterflies affect chameleon? If suddenly there are butterflies, they're very less, and there are more chameleons, don't you think so it will affect the food of chameleon?
Yes.
And finally, the chameleon will starve. They will have no food. And even chameleons will start dying and get less. So now do you know how it affects, if one become less, how it affects all of the other population?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We have the word here, immigrate and emigrate. Many deer will immigrate to the new park. Birds will emigrate from the crowded island. What is the meaning of immigrate and emigrate? When I say immigrate, that means, where is it? Why they are not giving question what mean? To move into a place, and emigrate to move out of a place. Emigrate means they'll move because it was crowded, they move out. So it's called as emigrate. Now,
Okay.
they come into the new park, we say they immigrate to the new park. Like example, I'm planning to immigrate to Canada. Immigrate means I want to go into Canada. When you are leaving your country, you say I will emigrate from Saudi Arabia and I will immigrate to Canada. Did you get us? From means emigrate, to means immigrate. Got it? Or do you want me to explain once again?
Got it.
Okay, means you're leaving that land, and I am immigrate is into. Now, Dana, please read out the vocabulary words.
Vocabulary terms. Carrying capacity.
Capacity, carrying capacity, yes.
Carrying capacity. Competition.
Competition.
Limiting factor. Cooperating.
Cooperation. Now, girls, simple I will say you. Imagine there's a tree here. I know you have a brown bark, not a red bark. Okay. And some of the birds, they stay in the higher, some of the birds, maybe woodpecker, stay in the lower, and some of them, they stay down. Maybe different kind of species. Now, girls, why do they stay in different stages? So that they don't fight for their house. They don't fight for the like whatever these birds come and get, they go into their hole and put their things. The second kind of birds go down because they don't want to go and interrupt between them. They don't want to fight for the competition. They have same habitat, but they don't want to fight for the competition to raise more competition. That's why they. But sometimes there is competition. The strong, you know that even in real life, strong people, they like always to dominate the weaker people, right? Any relation, if a person is strong, he or she likes to dominate one another. He or she must not do that, but they are doing it. Similarly, in animals, the strong tiger and lion like to rule on other animals. Okay. So this is what we studied: carrying capacity, competition, limiting factor, cooperation. One by one, I will explain you the vocabulary terms, but I'm not moving that fast in this lesson because I finished my earlier lesson very quickly. I will try to show you a video now. Because while showing the video, I can hear your voices. While I explain, you all are half asleep.
Miss, can I go to the bathroom?
Sure. Now please watch this video. Can you see something on the screen?
No.
Can you see on the screen now?
Yes.
Have you ever kept fish in an aquarium? If so, you know that the fish need attention. They need to be fed and their water needs to be changed, and the tank should be kept clean of algae. Can you think of some factors that limit the number of fish in an aquarium? Click each area of the image to
I'm sorry.
where we'll look more closely at the science of population dynamics. Some fish are very aggressive with one another. In a small space, they will fight with each other and perhaps cause injuries. Like all animals, fish need oxygen and water to survive. Devices called aerators can help oxygen mix into the water. Frequent water changes can keep the water clean and remove wastes. However, if too many fish were in the aquarium, oxygen and clean water could not be supplied quickly enough to support them all. This aquarium isn't very big, and each fish needs some space, so it's probably not a good idea to crowd the fish in the tank.
Just like people in our homes, each fish needs its own space.
What do you see, girls, in the picture?
Some
Here.
Okay, same kind of, same species in one area. So this is actually
no, miss. There's one with horns there.
Welcome to the lesson, Population Dynamics, where you'll learn how the movement and actions of an individual organism affect the size of a population. You'll also find out how some environmental factors influence populations. The vocabulary words for this lesson are carrying capacity, limiting factor, competition, and cooperation. Click each word to find out more about it.
Yeah, I'll change it.
Mice reproduce very quickly. A population of 2,000 mice reproducing normally could increase to over 150,000 in a year. So why aren't we overrun with mice? Some mice die and some move away or emigrate to find better resources. Deaths and emigration balance the births and immigration of mice into a population. The number of births, deaths, and mice entering and leaving the population are affected by conditions in their environment.
So do you know the meaning of emigrate and immigrate? They either leave the area or they go into some other area. Where they are staying, they leave that. They want to go from there because of some environmental conditions. So we say they emigrate from one place and they immigrate to somewhere else, okay?
Okay.
The forest is home to field mice. What resources do mice depend on in this environment? How do these resources affect their population? Click play to find out more. The forest environment has the resources these mice need.
See, girls, how the mice is eating? The forest
Yes.
environment has the resource that mice needs. They like to eat berries, nuts for food, from the fallen trees.
Berries and nuts for food, and fallen trees and tree hollows for shelter. Rain gives the mice water, and the temperatures are mild enough to live in. The mice are in a good place to live and reproduce. But if the food disappeared, the rain stopped, it became much hotter, the mice wouldn't continue to thrive.
Yes.
Their population would decrease and might disappear entirely.
So finally, if they don't get enough food, what happens to the population of mice? They will starve and start to die, right? Is that my voice is lacking? How about it now?
Little bit.
Because of the video, when I play the video, my voice will lag. But how about the voice of the video? Is it okay?
Yes.
This environment can provide the resources for only so many mice. The number of organisms an environment can provide for is its carrying capacity.
My dear girls, now what is carrying capacity? The number of organisms an environment can provide or is its carrying capacity. Now example girls, every area, if it's a very hot area, 100 people cannot live in a room. Can 100 people live in a room? Every place has a capacity. Capacity is how much they can carry. So that word is called a carrying capacity. The number of organisms an environment can provide for its carrying capacity. You understood a bit? You will understand more when she explains each one of it. Autumn carrying capacity, winter, spring, and summer. It depends upon the seasons, different seasons.
The carrying capacity for the mice in these woods depends on the season. Click the dots on the line to see why. Consider a population of mice in the woods in autumn. This is the season where trees produce nuts, so there is plenty of food.
See, in autumn season, trees are producing nuts. So when there are more nuts, they will eat well. They are healthy mice. When they are healthy, they reproduce more mice. You know, when they're healthy, they are fast and they don't die. So in some season, when they have no food, they need to starve and they will die. When they start to die, what happens to the population? Will it increase or decrease? The population
Decrease.
to the population. When the mice start to die, it will decrease.
In winter, many of the mice's predators have moved away or are hibernating, so they are safe from most predators. And because the mice stored food
Because it's winter, they cannot bear that cold. They don't have that, to maintain their internal condition. Remember the word homeostasis last year? Balance cycle, I told in the class. So just to maintain the internal condition, they need to hibernate or but most of the mice, they know how to store the food.
in autumn, there is plenty to eat. Therefore, the carrying capacity for the mice is higher in winter than in autumn. Their population soars to about 12,000 as the mice reproduce.
Okay, then, no problem if you cannot talk.
In springtime, the mouse population drops. Why? First, they have eaten their stored
Now,
food.
girls, who will say me, why did the population in the spring come down? What happened?
Because the predators, they like come back, I think.
Or here right now, I'm not talking about the predators and prey. I'm talking about their food. Like in autumn, there were many nuts. In winter, because they were too healthy, they produces more. But in spring, what happens to the leaves and the fruits? They don't produce. The trees, they start to fall, the leaves start to fall, and finally there is no food for the mice. When there is no food for the mice, what will happen to the population? The population will automatically decrease. Okay?
Okay.
So some of the mice starve. Second, waste has built up in crowded nests. This leads to disease, so more mice die. Disease and lack of food cause the carrying capacity to drop. The population decreases to about 6,000. As summer arrives, the number of predators increases. Birds of prey, foxes, and other animals are active in the woods and have had offspring of their own. With so many predators, the population of mice drops back down to 4,000. When winter comes again,
Now see the carrying capacity, how it comes to 4,000. Why? As you told me, Judy, the predator and prey, it rises in summer. Because in summer, most of them, those who eat both plants and animals, they don't get plants to eat. Because in the summer, the fruit is not that good, or the fruit is not, then they have more predators, they're more active to eat, they're more hungry. And then they eat away those rats, and finally the population comes back to 4,000.
Does anybody hear me?
Yes, everyone can hear you, Dana. You tell me,
Fine.
did you understand this carrying capacity? Did you understand perfectly, everyone, or you want me to explain once again?
I understand it.
Everyone, it's very simple, girls. There's nothing that complicated. It's very, very simple lesson. Okay, now. Continue.
the carrying capacity will increase again because there will be plenty of food and few predators. This pattern will continue every year. A population crash can occur when the carrying capacity for a population drops quickly, which could cause a population crash in the mice.
Now, girls, I have
Click the
shown you.
correct answers.
I have shown you the whole video till now, not the whole video, but at least the video which will explain you carrying capacity and what is affecting the population. So now, please, can you say me which would cause a population crash in the mice? A long cold winter? Does it cause the food shortages? Or what all is there? Just tell me and I will take it with you. Yes, all of you can participate, whoever you want.
Miss,
Hmm?
cold weather causes snakes to move
A
more
long cold winter, does it cause the food shortage in the winter season?
slowly.
Or
No.
begin transmitting a disease among
A
the
long cold
population of,
winter causes food shortage.
because the population of owls and hawks increases. If the population of the hawk and owl increases, do they eat the mice? Yes.
Good
Yes.
job. Hawks and
Because if the carnivores are more, they try to eat the mice, and of course the population will get affected. Cold weather causes snakes to move more slowly. When the
No.
snakes are moving slowly, it cannot. Okay, and even I don't think so this. A long cold winter,
you've got
Yes.
If enough food was not available to support the population, the number of mice would fall drastically.
when the food gets shortage, of course it will affect. How about the disease among the mice? If there is some disease in the mice, will it affect the
Yeah.
population?
Yes.
That's it.
Very
A
good.
spreading disease could cause a large number of mice to die. Disease, less food, or more predators could lead to a quick drop in the
So
population.
see the population, how it will come down. Any disease or like us girls, when is our population coming down? In the corona this year 2020, so many died because there was a disease. People
Yes.
were earning, many of them they did not get enough food, less food, it can make the population. Or predators, or if there are more predators also, they will die. So these three things, If the question is asked, what are the things which will affect the population? You must know it is disease, less food, and more predators. Okay? Because of this, it could lead to a quick drop. You know,
Okay.
there is a drop and there is a quick drop. It will lead to quick drop. I think this is enough, girls, for today. Because if I show you more, I will finish up my lesson very fast.
The things and conditions
I
in an
will-
environment that affect
I will show this tomorrow, inshallah. And meanwhile, any questions?
Oh,
Don't you
No.
think so? Grade 7 science is much easier than grade 6. You remember how we
Yeah.
cell, chromosomes, lysosomes, and all that? You will get a tougher one maybe by next more 2 to 3 weeks, I guess.
okay. So you're done?
Yes, we are done. I'm just
So I
seeing
can leave.
any questions you have.
No.
No.
Thank you so much.